Imagine this. You're a 50-year-old man, and there's a young woman, maybe in her 20s or 30s, who can't stop thinking about you. You're probably wondering, how is that even possible? I'm no longer in my prime. Well, here's the truth. Age is not the barrier you think it is. In fact, it could be the secret weapon that makes her fall head over heels for you. Stick with me for the next few minutes, and I'll show you exactly how to tap into your maturity, your wisdom, and your life experiences. Things younger men just can't compete with. Now, I know what you're thinking. She's young and probably into the flashy, rich guys who have all the time to hit the gym. That's where most guys get it wrong. While looks and money might grab attention in the short term, what keeps a young woman truly attracted to you is something far more profound. It's about connection, depth, and the emotional intelligence that comes with years of experience. Here's the kicker. You don't have to be like the younger guys in her life to capture her attention. You don't need to race to the gym or worry about your wrinkles. You have something far more valuable, your authentic self, and the confidence that comes with knowing who you are. By the end of this video, you'll have a crystal clear understanding of how to get a younger woman to view you as more than just an older man, but as a potential partner for life. This isn't just about impressing her for a date. It's about creating a bond that lasts, a connection that feels genuine and grounded in something deeper than just the physical. Hey there, I'm Andrew, and if you're new to this channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. What I'm about to share with you could completely change the way you approach relationships, especially if you're a man over 50 who's looking to connect with someone younger. This isn't just about quick tips or superficial advice. We're going to go deep. We'll talk about emotional intelligence, confidence, and how to use your age to your advantage without pretending to be someone you're not. I'm not here to tell you how to play games. I'm here to show you how to use the power of your maturity to form a real, meaningful connection. Think about it. How many guys in their 20s or 30s have the life experience, the depth of character, or the emotional stability that you do? Not many. And that's exactly why you've got an edge. So let's talk about how you can unlock this secret and make her see you as the man she can't live without. So, why is it that age often feels like a disadvantage when it comes to relationships between older men and younger women? Here's the twist. What if I told you that being older actually gives you an advantage, a massive advantage that younger men simply can't offer her? Most men think that being older means they're automatically out of the game, but that's far from the truth. When a younger woman is looking for a long-term partner, she's not just thinking about looks or status. She's looking for emotional connection, security, and someone who can lead with wisdom and strength. That's where you come in. Attraction isn't about being younger, fitter, or richer. It's about emotional depth. It's about the authenticity you bring into the relationship, the strength you've built over the years, and the confidence that comes with knowing who you are. These are things that young guys simply can't compete with. When you embrace this, you'll realize that your age is actually your greatest advantage. So, how do you tap into this secret power of emotional depth and wisdom to make her fall for you? In the next part of the video, we're going to break down the first step, how to use your emotional maturity to create a connection that blows her mind. Stick around because this is going to change the way you think about dating forever. When it comes to dating, especially when you're trying to connect with a younger woman, emotional maturity is a game changer. It's something that younger men often lack, and it's exactly what many younger women crave. You see, when we're younger, we're still learning how to navigate relationships. We tend to act impulsively, get emotional too quickly, and struggle to communicate effectively. But as you grow older, you develop a sense of emotional stability, self-awareness, and the ability to regulate your feelings in a healthy way. These qualities make you incredibly attractive to younger women. Why? Because a young woman, especially one in her 20s or 30s, has probably already experienced the chaos of immature relationships. She might have been in love with a man who wasn't emotionally available or struggled to communicate his feelings. She's over the drama and emotional instability. Now she's seeking someone who can offer balance, wisdom, and stability. And that's where you, as an older man, come in. Think about it. Emotional maturity isn't just about controlling your temper or not getting upset when things go wrong. It's about having the emotional intelligence to understand how your actions affect others, especially in romantic relationships. And that's something a younger man might still be learning, while you've already mastered it. So how you show emotional maturity in a relationship? It's not just about words. It's about how you handle situations, how you respond to challenges, and how you interact with her on a daily basis. Let's start with conflict. Conflict is inevitable in every relationship, but what truly matters is how you handle it. Do you react with anger, blame, or defensiveness? Or do you approach the situation with calmness, rationality, and a desire to understand the other person's perspective? When a problem arises, do you try to fix things immediately, or do you take a step back to think things through and approach it in a more thoughtful way? A young woman who's had her fair share of emotionally reactive men will find immense security in a man who can stay calm and composed under pressure. She'll feel safe knowing that she doesn't have to walk on eggshells or worry about emotional outbursts. Being emotionally mature also means being able to express your feelings in a healthy way. This isn't about bottling things up or suppressing your emotions. It's about being honest with her, without being overly dramatic or needy, and knowing how to communicate your feelings in a clear and grounded manner. Take, for instance, empathy. Being emotionally mature means you listen to her not just with your ears but with your heart. You don't just hear the words she's saying, you understand the emotions behind them. You don't invalidate her feelings or dismiss her concerns. Instead, you offer a supportive, empathetic response. Imagine she's having a stressful day at work and vents to you. Instead of offering a solution right away, you listen, reflect, and empathize. You might say something like, "I understand how frustrating that must be. Let's take some time to relax and unwind." That simple act of listening and validating her emotions makes her feel understood and cared for, which creates a deep emotional connection. These are the types of behaviors that are often lacking in younger men. They may rush in to fix things or become defensive when things don't go their way. As an older man, you have the ability to approach situations from a place of understanding, which is extremely attractive to a younger woman. Let's face it, many younger women are seeking stability. After a few emotionally tumultuous relationships, they want someone who can balance out their emotional energy, ground them when they feel out of control, and provide a sense of security. If they've dealt with immature or emotionally unavailable men in the past, they might feel exhausted by the idea of dealing with drama or uncertainty again. So, how do you stand out? By offering that emotional maturity and security. You don't just listen to her words. You tune into her emotions. You show her that you understand her fears, her dreams, and her needs. You validate her feelings, which makes her feel heard and seen. Something that's incredibly important for younger women who may have been neglected or misunderstood in previous relationships. Emotionally mature men can also provide a sense of stability that younger women are often craving. You're able to handle tough situations with grace, show patience, and offer reassurance when things get tough. That's a rare quality that sets you apart from the younger men who may still be figuring out how to handle their own emotions. Think back to your own experiences in relationships. Have you ever been with someone who was emotionally immature? How did that feel? Maybe they overreacted to small things, couldn't manage their temper, or didn't listen to you when you needed them the most. It's draining, isn't it? Well, a younger woman has likely experienced that type of immaturity, and she's done with it. Now, imagine how different it feels when you're with someone who's emotionally calm, secure, and wise. A woman doesn't have to guess how you're feeling because you express yourself openly and naturally. You don't bring unnecessary drama into the relationship. You focus on solutions, understanding, and growth. Being emotionally mature isn't about being perfect. It's about being present, attuned to her emotional needs, and willing to grow together as a couple. When you can offer her this, it creates a deep attraction that goes far beyond surface-level attraction. It builds a strong foundation for a lasting relationship. Let me share a story about a friend of mine, John, who is in his late 50s. He met a woman in her early 30s, and at first, he didn't think there was any chance something could come of it. But over time, he realized that his emotional maturity was what made him stand out to her. She had just come out of a toxic relationship where her ex was emotionally volatile and constantly unpredictable. She told John that she was tired of the drama and wanted someone who could be stable. John never tried to act like someone he wasn't. He didn't try to impress her with flashy moves or buy her expensive gifts. Instead, he focused on being emotionally available for her. He listened when she needed to talk, he respected her feelings, and he gave her space to express herself without judgment. Eventually, this emotional support and consistency became the foundation of their relationship. She started seeing John not just as an older man, but as someone who could offer the emotional security and stability she had been craving. Now, years later, they're in a committed, loving relationship, and he's the kind of partner she never knew she needed. When it comes to attraction, especially for older men, confidence is one of the most powerful qualities you can possess. But here's the thing. There's a fine line between confidence and arrogance, and many people mistake one for the other. A lot of men think that being confident means showing off, bragging about their achievements, or flaunting their wealth. But that's not confidence. That's arrogance. Arrogance is rooted in insecurity. It's about trying to convince others of your worth because you don't actually believe it yourself. It's a facade, a mask that hides the fear of being vulnerable or not being enough. On the other hand, true confidence is about being comfortable with who you are, no matter your age. It's about accepting your flaws, embracing your strengths, and not feeling the need to constantly prove yourself to others. It's about knowing that you have value simply because you exist, and that value doesn't need external validation. When you've reached a certain stage in life, like being in your 50s or 60s, you've learned that life isn't about impressing others. It's about living authentically. Confidence isn't about loud declarations or seeking attention. It's about a quiet self-assurance that you don't need to explain. This kind of confidence is incredibly attractive, especially to younger women. As a man in your 50s or 60s, you've likely experienced a wealth of life lessons that younger men just don't have. You've seen the highs and lows. You've had your share of triumphs and setbacks, and each experience has shaped you into who you are today. This isn't something to be ashamed of. It's something to be proud of. In fact, this experience is one of your greatest assets in attracting younger women. While younger men might still be figuring things out, trying to build careers, and navigating their own emotional growth, you've already done a lot of that work. You have a sense of self that comes from knowing who you are and what you want. You don't have to pretend or try to be someone you're not. You can be authentically you, and that's something that young women find deeply attractive. When you show confidence in your experiences, in your ability to weather storms and learn from them, it offers a sense of security. You're not afraid to talk about your past, your mistakes, or the lessons you've learned. In fact, you see those mistakes as part of the journey that got you to where you are now, and that's empowering. A younger woman finds this kind of confidence reassuring. It shows that you're grounded, mature, and have learned how to navigate life with grace. Let's face it, many young women are tired of dating men who are still trying to figure out what they want out of life. They don't want to deal with someone who's emotionally immature or who hasn't learned from their experiences. Instead, they're looking for a man who has depth, wisdom, and a clear sense of self. You can provide that. One of the biggest reasons younger women are drawn to older men is the stability that confidence brings. When a man is confident, he gives off an air of steadiness. He's not easily shaken by challenges or difficult situations. He knows who he is, and that's something incredibly magnetic. A young woman, especially one in her 20s or 30s, often finds herself attracted to someone who's steady, secure, and knows exactly what they want. After all, she's probably been through enough emotional turbulence already. She doesn't want a man who's still figuring out his place in the world. She wants someone who's already found theirs. Confidence is about much more than just appearances or bragging rights. It's not about boasting about how much money you make or how many awards you've won. It's about being strong in who you are, not needing to prove anything to anyone. When you possess this kind of confidence, it shows that you've grown, you've matured, and you've learned how to navigate the ups and downs of life with a sense of assurance. This level of confidence signals to younger women that you're someone they can rely on, that you've lived through challenges, weathered storms, and come out stronger on the other side. It's this sense of security and stability that draws them in. They're not just looking for someone who's fun to date. They're looking for someone who offers emotional grounding. Think about it. When you're confident in yourself, you naturally attract people who appreciate that energy. It's not about boasting or seeking validation. It's about knowing your worth and understanding that you don't need external approval to feel good about yourself. This inner strength creates a safe space for a young woman to let her guard down, knowing that you won't judge her or belittle her. Instead, she'll feel valued, respected, and understood. Let me share a story about a man named David who's in his early 50s. David has always exuded a quiet confidence that's hard to miss. He doesn't try to impress anyone with flashy cars or expensive dinners. In fact, he's the type of guy who enjoys a quiet evening at home, reading a good book or watching a documentary. Yet, despite this modest lifestyle, his self-assurance is magnetic. David met Samantha, a woman in her late 20s, at a mutual friend's party. Samantha was immediately drawn to him, not because of his physical appearance, though he's handsome enough, but because of his ability to just be himself. When they talked, David didn't boast about his achievements or try to impress her with stories of his career successes. Instead, he spoke about his life with a sense of humility and wisdom. He shared stories of challenges he'd faced, the mistakes he'd made, and the lessons he'd learned from them. Samantha found his approach refreshing. She was tired of dating men who were still trying to figure out who they were. David, on the other hand, seemed to have it all figured out. He wasn't looking for validation, and he wasn't playing games. He was comfortable in his own skin, and that was incredibly appealing to her. Over the course of several conversations, Samantha realized that David had something that most men her age didn't: a sense of calm and certainty. He was grounded in who he was, and it made her feel like she could trust him, not just in the short term, but for the long run. David's confidence wasn't loud or in your face. It was quiet, but it was undeniable. It wasn't about showing off or proving anything. It was about being secure in his own life, which made Samantha feel safe, valued, and understood. When it comes to relationships, especially when dating younger women, one of the most essential elements is emotional safety. A younger woman needs to feel safe, both emotionally and mentally, in the relationship. She needs to feel like she can trust you with her feelings, vulnerabilities, and fears without judgment or rejection. Think about it. Emotional safety is the foundation of any deep, meaningful connection. Without it, the relationship will remain shallow and fleeting. If a woman doesn't feel secure enough to be open and vulnerable, it's going to be hard for her to invest emotionally. This is where older men often have the advantage. Older men have been through the ups and downs of life, whether it's challenging relationships, career transitions, or personal growth. They've gained wisdom over time that allows them to handle emotional conversations with patience and care. They understand that emotions need to be validated, not dismissed, and that emotional safety doesn't just come from words, but from consistent actions and reactions. Unlike younger men who might be still figuring out their emotional maturity, older men have developed the emotional intelligence necessary to create a space where a younger woman can feel truly seen and heard. This is a major reason why many younger women are drawn to older men. They crave that emotional stability and the ability to feel safe in a relationship. One of the most powerful ways to build trust is by being consistent in your actions. Trust is earned, not given freely, And the way to show a younger woman that you can be trusted is by showing up when you say you will. If you make a promise, follow through. If you tell her you're going to do something, make sure you do it. Trust is built over time, and it's a gradual process, but consistency is the key. Transparency and honesty are also critical when it comes to building trust. If you're upfront about your intentions, your values, and your past, you signal to her that you're a man who can be relied on. Honesty, even when the truth is uncomfortable, shows that you're trustworthy and real. For example, if you've been through difficult relationships in the past or had your share of personal challenges, don't shy away from sharing these experiences. Open up about your past in a way that shows vulnerability, not as a means of seeking sympathy, but to demonstrate your openness and authenticity. This allows her to see you as a real person, not just an idealized version of what a partner should be. When you're transparent and reliable, you create a solid foundation of trust. And once trust is established, you can start to build a deeper emotional connection that is rooted in mutual respect and understanding. Reassurance can come in many forms, but one of the most powerful ways to reassure a younger woman is through consistent actions. If you show up for her in meaningful ways, support her goals, and listen to her without judgment, she will begin to feel emotionally safe in the relationship. It's important to understand that reassurance isn't just about words. It's about showing up and being there for her consistently. If you say you're going to be supportive, show up in her life in ways that align with your promises. For instance, if she's having a tough day at work, reach out to check in. If she's sharing a difficult moment, don't try to fix it immediately. Just listen with empathy and without judgment. This makes her feel seen and valued, which ultimately fosters emotional security. A key aspect of reassurance is being able to validate her feelings. You don't have to always agree with her or solve her problems, but being able to say things like, "I understand how that could make you feel," can go a long way. This shows her that you're attuned to her emotions and that she doesn't have to walk through her challenges alone. Another important aspect of reassurance is emotional stability. Younger women, especially those who have had their share of chaotic or unpredictable relationships, are drawn to men who can offer calm and steady support. When you remain calm and level-headed, especially during tense moments, it helps her feel safe and trust you even more. When you build trust, you're laying the foundation for a deeper and more meaningful relationship. Trust is not something that can be rushed. It takes time and effort, but the results are well worth it. When a younger woman feels that she can trust you completely, she'll begin to open up in ways she might not have with previous partners. Trust allows her to be vulnerable. And when she's vulnerable, it deepens the emotional connection between you both. Vulnerability is the gateway to authentic intimacy, and when she feels safe enough to be truly herself around you, the bond grows stronger. A woman who feels emotionally safe and trusts you will begin to invest more deeply in the relationship. She'll feel comfortable sharing her dreams, her fears, her flaws, and her needs without worrying about being judged or rejected. This is the level of connection that leads to long-lasting, fulfilling relationships. Let me share a story about a man named John, who's in his late 50s. John had been through a few challenging relationships in the past, and by the time he met Emily, a woman in her late 20s, he had learned the importance of emotional safety and trust. He knew that relationships built on a foundation of insecurity and unpredictability wouldn't last, and he didn't want that for himself or for Emily. From the beginning, John was transparent and honest with Emily. He shared his experiences openly, both the good and the bad, and was always consistent in his actions. If he promised to call, he called. If he said he would be there for her, he was. John didn't try to impress Emily with grand gestures. Instead, he focused on small, meaningful acts that showed he was reliable. One day, Emily confided in John about a difficult situation at work. She had been feeling insecure about her performance and was afraid she might be let go. Instead of trying to fix her feelings or give her unsolicited advice, John listened. He let her express her fears without interrupting or minimizing her emotions. When she finished speaking, John simply said, "I understand why you're feeling this way. It must be really hard. But I believe in you, and I'm here for you, no matter what happens." Emily was taken aback by his calm and supportive response. She felt validated and heard in a way she hadn't with other men. Over time, she began to trust John more and more, not just because of his words, but because of his consistent actions. She knew he wasn't just saying things to make her feel better. He genuinely meant it. As their relationship grew, Emily began to feel more comfortable sharing her fears, her dreams, and even her insecurities with John. The trust they built allowed them to connect on a deeper level than Emily had ever experienced before. She knew that John would always be there, offering emotional support, understanding, and respect. Emily often said that John's ability to create a safe emotional space for her was one of the things that made their relationship so special. Because she felt emotionally safe, she could truly be herself, and that's what made their bond so strong. Let's take a moment to reflect on the key insights we've covered in this guide and emphasize the takeaways that will help you succeed in building meaningful relationships with younger women. Here's the bottom line. It's not about trying to compete with younger men. It's about embracing your own strengths. Many older men mistakenly believe that their age is a disadvantage when it comes to attracting younger women. They think they need to act or look younger, or somehow try to compete with younger men. But the truth is, your age is an asset, not a limitation. You have a wealth of experience, maturity, and wisdom that younger men simply can't match. These qualities give you the ability to connect on a deeper emotional level, provide stability, and create a sense of security that younger men may struggle to offer. Your experiences, good and bad, shape who you are, and they should be celebrated, not hidden away. Emotional maturity, confidence, and trust building are your secret weapons. One of the most attractive qualities of older men is their emotional maturity. While younger men may still be figuring out their emotions, older men often have a clear sense of who they are and how they handle life's challenges. This emotional steadiness can be incredibly attractive to younger women who may have experienced volatility in past relationships. Emotional maturity allows you to engage in more meaningful, honest conversations and navigate the ups and downs of life with grace. Your ability to handle tough situations with patience and understanding is invaluable. When you can remain calm and level-headed in the face of challenges, it shows emotional strength and self-assurance. This kind of maturity isn't something that can be faked or rushed. It comes from experience. And it's something that will naturally draw younger women to you, as they seek a partner who can provide them with the same level of emotional stability they may not have experienced before. Confidence is often cited as one of the top qualities that younger women find attractive in older men. But as we discussed, there's a fine line between confidence and arrogance. Confidence isn't about bragging, showing off your achievements, or flaunting your wealth. It's about being comfortable with who you are, embracing your strengths, and being at peace with your life choices. True confidence shows that you don't need to prove anything to anyone, and that you can offer emotional security without needing constant validation. In contrast, arrogance often stems from insecurity, where a person feels the need to inflate their ego or impress others. Younger women can spot arrogance from a mile away, and it's usually a huge turnoff. When you focus on being authentic and humble while still recognizing your worth, you project true confidence, and that is far more appealing. Trust and emotional safety form the backbone of any successful relationship. Younger women need to feel that they can open up to you without fear of judgment or rejection. By building trust through transparency, honesty, and consistency, you create a solid foundation for a deeper emotional connection. When you are consistent in your actions, whether it's showing up on time, keeping your promises, or providing emotional support, you build a safe space where she can feel comfortable being vulnerable. A woman will trust you when she feels like you're not only listening, but also truly hearing her. Your ability to reassure her, validate her feelings, and maintain emotional stability will establish a strong bond of trust, which will only grow over time. Remember, it's never too late to form a deep, meaningful connection. Whether you're 50 or 60, age isn't a barrier. It's an asset if you know how to use it. As we've discussed throughout this guide, age can be a major advantage when it comes to forming a relationship with a younger woman. You don't need to pretend to be something you're not. Instead, you should embrace the qualities that come with age, such as emotional maturity, wisdom, and a solid understanding of yourself. Younger women are looking for partners who can offer emotional security, stability, and a sense of groundedness in their lives. And those qualities are typically more developed as we age. Whether you're in your 50s or 60s, you still have so much to offer in a relationship. You have years of life experience to share, lessons learned along the way, and a clearer sense of your goals and desires. Age is not something that should hold you back. Rather, it should empower you to pursue meaningful connections with younger women who value the depth and security you bring to the table. Now that you understand how to build attraction with younger women, go out there and show them who you are. Building meaningful relationships is about taking action. You have the knowledge, emotional maturity, and confidence necessary to create a genuine, lasting connection with a younger woman. The key is to approach relationships with the right mindset, one of authenticity, respect, and mutual appreciation. If you are serious about forming a meaningful connection, don't be afraid to put yourself out there. Meet new people, engage in conversations, and be open to the possibility of love. Sometimes, the most beautiful relationships come when you least expect them, but they can only begin if you make the conscious decision to take that first step. If you found these insights valuable, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And in the comments, tell me, what do you think makes older men attractive to younger women? Your feedback and interaction mean a lot, and I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, ask questions, and tell me about your own experiences with relationships, whether they involve younger women or not. Let's keep the conversation going, and remember, true connections are built on authenticity, respect, and understanding. As we conclude this guide, I hope you walk away with a clearer understanding of how to form meaningful relationships with younger women. Remember, age is just a number, and what truly matters is the emotional connection you build, the confidence you exude, and the trust you establish. Whether you're 50 or 60, you have what it takes to create a lasting, fulfilling relationship. So go out there, embrace your strengths, and show the world who you truly are.